Hello, and here we are live on the spot at part of Bad Sydney, which is the Crime Writers Festival, and I am over the moon because I'm getting to talk to the lovely Dani Vee, who is the host of Words and Nerds podcast. And I would say that you're my competition, but you just are blasting it out of the world. Hello, Dani.
Hello, Stella. And there's no such thing as competition. We're all here to do the same thing. We're just all book nerds.
Yeah, no. So tell us a little bit about Words and Nerds podcast. How long have you been in action?
4 years now. So just celebrated our 4th birthday. And I just wanted to talk about books with authors, and I wanted to just explore how they're written, the process, and just have really nerdy talks because none of my friends were interested in doing that. So I thought, well, I need to go find another tribe.
And are writers nerds?
Not at all. Writers just have, I'm the nerd, the writers, they're the words, I'm the nerd. They have just an incredible thing to say about the world, to explore about the world. Not that they have all the answers all the time, but I think it's important, particularly in the current climate that we're living in, and to explore all parts of humanity, whether that be in children's literature, whether that be in crime. We're here today talking about crime. So I just like the exploration of humans and trying to be better all the time. Better at being a human, which is hard, Stella.
It is.
It's hard.
But did you not find, because I was always, lover of books and words like yourself, that we had this idea that writers was somehow this mythical, magical, sophisticated kind of being.
They still are magical and mystical.
Right. And then I met some and went, especially novelists, but you think they're pretty amazing.
I do think they're amazing, but I think we're all amazing in our own little ways. But I actually think it's just really hard being a human. So if we can explore that through literature, through conversations, we had a great night out pre the festival out at a beer garden. We explored lots of things. I think just exploring being a human, because being a human is particularly difficult. When you're in a pandemic, it's even more difficult. And so I think the exploration of that and the traumas that we go through and how we can push through those and how we can not repeat past mistakes, which we're really good at, and just being a better human, I think that's going to benefit not only you and the people around you, but the world in general.
And when you find life difficult, is there a particular genre of book or genre of reading that you feel that kind of grounds you and speaks to you and reflects back that, or do you sort of turn on read the equivalent of Married at First Sight?
I've given up television so I can do more podcasting and reading. I think I really find comfort, and kids do too, in books you've read before. So I love Elliot Pullman's 7 Types of Ambiguity, and I constantly reread that. I also love Oscar Wilde's Picture of Dorian Gray, very light novels. So I like to revisit those because I think that gives me comfort. But the reason I'm here as a facilitator of one of the panels for crime is I love crime so much, and I find that that's a bit of an escape because crime's amazing because it deals with humanity and it explores current societal issues, but it's also an escape. And so when life does get a bit difficult, I just really like to lose myself in the what ifs of crime. What if you were in this position? What if you found yourself in this position? What happens if this would happen to you? And all the gore and the blood, it just adds to for me, the pleasure and the joy of reading. I don't know what that says about me, Stella.
Says a lot. Now, you are also a writer in your own right. You have not 1, not 3, but 4 books coming out in 2022.
Yeah,
what's the story with that?
Well, they're picture books, and I'm not saying picture books are easy to write, but it's not an 80,000 word crime novel. I always have written. I think meeting all these incredible authors has always made me think that nothing is good enough that I write. But I think I had to get over that. So I do have a couple of picture books coming out next year with Larrikin House. They're very different. One explores women and motherhood and reclaiming your identity after you've been in that kind of under the blanket being a mother for however many years, particularly of young children, and coming out of that and reclaiming your identity. And then I've just flipped it, and I have a series that's really slapstick and really fun, and just for the pure joy of kids and their relationships with their dads. So it's a bit of a flip of both. So kind of one that has a bit of a lot of meaning, and one that's just pure bedtime fun.
Excellent. And don't we all love a bit of pure bedtime fun?
I knew I was
For those of us are lucky enough to experience that.
You just took that completely out of context, Stella.
Now, I'm very professional. I have got
It's terrifying.
It is the questions of terror. So
You know what?
oh,
You need a bag made out of this skull dress
oh yeah.
to put your
Terror.
little whatever's in there.
It's the lucky dip of terror. So, or choose your own question. You ready?
I'm so ready. Usually I'm the one asking these questions.
Yes. So
I'm
how
a bit
does it feel?
terrifying.
Do people ever? I know.
Ooh.
Well, did you always want to be a writer?
Yes, I want to say my past, but my actual day job used to be an English head teacher. So I've always loved literature and always loved talking about it. Always wanted to write. Never thought I was good enough. Finally, the picture book deals are happening. I'm also rewriting a crime story that I sort of missed out on a competition. I'm rewriting it. I don't know if that's going to go anywhere, but yes, the answer to the question is I've always wanted to be a writer, and I don't think I'll ever stop trying to be one.
I thought you were actually going to say, I think you're the first person I've spoken to all weekend that wasn't a lawyer.
But that's perfect for crime, right? Because
I'm gonna, yeah, it is.
Oh, you're giving me another one.
I am going to give you a, no, I'm going
I
to.
got our way with that. Okay. Who do you think is the biggest bitch in literature, as in a character in a book? I hate this question. The biggest bitch. Okay.
Or, it doesn't even have to
Timothy Blake. Jack Heath's Timothy Blake.
be... Isn't he the biggest bastard in this?
Well, the question is bitch, so I'm just
True.
going with it.
So tell me about Timothy Blake.
Well, Timothy Blake is a cannibal, and I love Jack Heath. I think he's a very talented human being and a lovely human being. But he's a cannibal, and yet you like him, and you are rooting for him, and you want him to get the girl, and yet he eats people. So Jack, it's very complicated how I feel about Timothy Blake. You know this.
Dani Vee, where can people listen to Words and Nerds?
Everywhere you listen to your podcast, you can listen to Words and Nerds, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. I put links everywhere. If you like social media, if you're on social media, Dani Vee's always on social media. You'll find it.
That's fantastic, Dani Vee. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for coming on to 30 Books.
Thank you. I love what you do, and I think we are, I love catching up with other people who love books and love talking about books. So I've loved hanging out with you today and the other day, and I hope we do more of this stuff. It's fun.